Welcome to Creative Brews. I'm Kristen, and this is your weekly dose of creativity, where photography, design, and life come together. So, grab your favorite drink, and let's talk about what's brewing. Hello! Welcome back to Creative Brews. Hope you all are enjoying season 2. I know I am. It has been an amazing year so far. And all of that, it's going to be and is an amazing season. I just love being able to come back time after time and talk about these things, and you all be just as excited as me. So, as you can tell by the title, which I'm really not sure what I'm going to be calling this one, we are going to be diving into the law of the subconscious mind. And what exactly does that mean? So, like always, I have coffee. I hope you have a beverage or a little snack or something like that. I hope that, I'm going to try to make this episode not too long. However, it can easily be kind of long, especially when you're talking about these topics and everything. So, yes, we are going to be chit-chatting and diving into the law of the subconscious mind. What does that mean? So I'm going to start off with some definitions so that way you all know what I'm talking about. I also encourage, like I do in some of these episodes, I encourage you to do your own research, what really and truly makes sense for you, so that way you can easily digest this topic. So, I want to preface this by saying that this is going to be an intro to hopefully an episode later on in the future, hopefully the near future, talking and doing a deep dive about the brain. Sorry, I had to move my cat. So yes, that'll be a future episode. I'm super excited. The brain really intrigues me and is very interesting. So, most people think change starts with willpower, but the truth is your subconscious mind is running the show. You may or may not have heard that, but I know I have. So, again, let's go through some definitions here. What is the subconscious mind? The subconscious mind is the part of your brain that stores your beliefs, habits, memories, emotions, fears, and automatic behaviors. It makes about 95% of your decisions without you even realizing it. Isn't that crazy? I think that's crazy. So I know we all have heard of our conscious mind. What that means is your conscious mind is the part of you that sets your goals, plans, analyzes, and thinks. It's only about 5% of your mental activity. Isn't that crazy? I think that that's absolutely just crazy. So, we're going to go over some other definitions here that you'll hear later on in this episode. Reprogramming the mind, and what that means. So, reprogramming your mind means teaching your brain new beliefs, new emotional responses, new patterns through repetition, focus, and intention. Another definition that I've talked about on this show, I've talked about manifestation here and there. Not really too much, but I've sprinkled it in here and there. So, manifestation is a psychology, or I'm going to start over. Manifestation, the psychology version here, this is the psychology definition. Manifestation is simply aligning your subconscious beliefs with what you consciously want. So, your brain, body, and behaviors move in the same direction. So, yes, like I've said before earlier in the beginning of this episode, we're going to be diving into what your what your subconscious is, how it works, why it controls your life, and how it affects creativity, confidence, money, and relationships, especially as creatives and entrepreneurs and all that stuff. So, we're going to get into what the subconscious mind actually is. So, here we go. So, it's not just woo-woo, it's not spiritual, it's neurology and pattern storage. So, your subconscious mind, like I said in the definition, stores everything. And by everything, I mean childhood beliefs, your fears, emotional memories, habits, past experiences, identity statements, such as I'm not creative, I'm not good enough, I'm not good with money, I always mess up, the punishment statements that you bash yourself with. So that's just a few things that I wanted to list off. It stores everything. So, runs your automatic reactions such as snapping when under stress or when you're stressed out and you snap, avoiding opportunities, procrastinating big goals, doubting yourself before you even start. All these things. The subconscious doesn't judge, it just simply plays the program it learned. So I'm going to go ahead and say this. If you are not programming your subconscious mind, it is being programmed without you even knowing it. So if you are not programming your subconscious mind, society, the media you digest, the food you eat, the music you listen to, what you think when you wake up in the morning, your thoughts throughout the day, all these things are programming excuse me, I'm getting tongue-tied. It is programming your subconscious mind. I know that might sound crazy. It did to me. I get it. So yes, if you are not programming your subconscious mind, it is being programmed by the world around you and by the state you live in and all these things, by your energy, like I said, the music you consume, the media you consume, what you think, and how you feel, all these things. So a simple example here. If you were told as a kid that you're too much, your subconscious still tries to keep you small today. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a fact. It's a scientific fact. The big message here is your conscious mind sets goals. Your subconscious mind decides whether you actually achieve them. So let's dive into the science and psychology behind it, so that way you know all this stuff that I'm saying is not just words. Again, I do want to say and take this time to please do your own research. These are true scientific, tested topic that I'm talking about. So today's topic is a true scientific proven thing. It's not just spirituality, it's not just woo woo, it's not just about you being religious or anything like that. It helps, obviously, but anyways, we're going to dive into the psychology behind it, okay? So, neuroplasticity. I know some people may have heard of it, some people may not have heard of this term. I have. Basically, the brain rewires itself. If I can talk, when I get excited, I kind of tongue tie my words, especially if I've done a lot of talking. So yes, neuroplasticity. The brain rewires itself. So whatever you repeat becomes a pattern. Thoughts to emotions, to behaviors, to identity, to results. This is why journaling, visualization, and affirmations work, because you're creating a new wiring. I'm going to go back over that. So, journaling, visualization, and affirmations only work, as we all know, if you truly are aligned to them. So, if you're not aligned with the journaling, the visualization, the affirmations, then it's not going to work. You're not creating a new a new wiring. You're not rewiring. You're not creating a new wiring. I hope that makes sense. So, number 2, the reticular activating system, or otherwise known as RAS, your brain's filter. So, this is your brain's filter. Filters what you noticed based on what you truly believe. Here's a good example here. Think about a new car and you suddenly see it everywhere, right? So, I know we've all have been there, maybe you visualize yourself in a new car, whatever that car is for you, and all of a sudden you start seeing that car. And you might even start seeing that car in the color that you really want. So if you want a red Nissan, you might start seeing all kinds of, red Nissans, which is the car that you have been really visualizing. You might start seeing it more. So, as a creative business owner, if your belief is clients never book me, your brain will ignore opportunities and will believe that thought, and it will believe your belief. I know that might sound like a lot of like circling, but yeah, if you truly believe clients never book with me, you're going to believe it. You're telling your brain clients never book with me. So you're going to believe it. Habit loops here. So cue to routine to reward. So that's what I mean here. Most daily behaviors run on autopilot. I know that's also crazy. It was very crazy when I was doing my research for this episode. A lot of this stuff that I'm talking about was crazy, like finding out. Creativity routines, morning scroll habits, procrastination cycles, all the subconscious. It's all subconscious. So if you basically I would say a lot of what we do daily, a lot of people run on autopilot. And once you become awaken, or once you wake up to all these topics that I'm talking about on this podcast, you might notice when people are on autopilot. Like for me, I've been in restaurants and stuff like that, and I look around and stuff like that. I'm not just blind to the world around me, and you can just tell who's on autopilot, who is just sitting across. I can't tell you how many times I have seen people sit across from their significant other, their husband, their wives, their children, and what are they doing after they've ordered? Or maybe even while they're ordering. They're all on their phones, ignoring their children, ignoring their husband, their wife. That's what I'm talking about. You automatically do it. And a lot of times you automatically do it without even knowing that you're doing it. So you're running on autopilot. Emotional memory. The brain stores emotional experiences more strongly. This creates money blocks, creative wounds, relationship patterns, confidence issues, excuse me. You get what I'm saying. The list can literally go on here. You're not broken. Your brain is repeating what it learned. Your brain is repeating what you're teaching it. So if you're teaching your brain that you have confidence issues and you lack confidence, your brain will give you more of that. If you flip it and say, I have confidence, and you truly are aligned with that, your brain will give you more of that. I hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and move into how the subconscious affects creativity, relationships, and money. So I'm going to take me a big old swig of my coffee. And we are going to get into this. So, creativity, designers, photographers, web designers, all the things. Subconscious beliefs influence creative confidence. If you believe you're not good enough, your creativity shuts down and your brain gives you more of that, like I just explained. Blocks show up as perfectionism, which I am quote unquote a victim of or two, but I am trying my best to work on that. So I'm working on my perfectionism. Perfectionism is just keeping you safe. Your body, if you're a perfectionist, all you're doing is literally holding yourself back and you're keeping yourself safe. It's a mechanism to just keep yourself safe. Comparing yourself, I'll post it later, and then later never comes. Fear of showing your work, all the things. Creativity requires safety. The subconscious protects you from being seen. So like I said, it's a mechanism to keep you safe. Because your brain, it's easier for your brain to go back to what's safe than to go to something that feels like it's not safe. It feels foreign and you don't know the outcome. So your brain is going to try its best to keep you in what it knows. So for money, your brain mirrors what you believe. you deserve. So if you deserve that, or if you believe that you deserve no money, you're going to have no money. Childhood beliefs like money is stressful, money causes conflict, or artists don't make money become your financial ceiling. I know growing up, there was like this saying going around that, oh, well, artists don't make money, they starve, and all this other stuff. While that is sort of true, that is not true for all artists. It depends on your art. It depends on a lot of things. That's all I'm going to say. You will subconsciously reject opportunities that contradict your programming. Relationships, attachment styles equals subconscious. Self-worth equals your subconscious mind. Like fear of abandonment, fear of failure, people-pleasing, all stored patterns that are stored in your subconscious mind. You don't choose these reactions. Your brain learned them. You actually either programmed your brain into believing these things, or the world around you programmed your brain to, have the fear of abandonment. Or maybe, like what we were just saying up here, your subconscious mind keeps your childhood beliefs, so maybe you learned fear of abandonment as a child, so that's why all these things, when you really do a deep dive into yourself and you go inward and work on yourself and all this stuff, and you do the shadow work, you do the work, sometimes it can take you back to some uncomfortable places. It can take you all the way back to your childhood or whatever time that happened. Maybe you were a teenager, maybe you were, I don't know, it could literally be anything for anyone, but I think you get what I'm saying. I want to go over how to start reprogramming your subconscious mind. So, number 1, change your inner language. From I'm trying to I am becoming. From I can't learn to I'm learning. Or from I can't to I'm learning. I hope to I intend. A lot of how we talk to ourselves really make it or break it here. Visualizing outcomes intentionally. So if you intentionally visualize your outcome of the life that you truly want, that you truly desire on living and stuff like that, it really is a game changer. So train the RAS what to look for. And if you don't, the world around you will. So that's why I say you have to program your own subconscious mind, because it's running the show, whether you program it or not. Emotional visualization equals accelerates rewiring. So if you emotionally visualize things and intentionally, it definitely accelerates the rewiring, and you might even be able to feel your brain rewiring. Micro confidence habits. So, small wins tell your brain you're safe to expand. That's why people say you should celebrate your small wins, because at the end of the day, it's still a win. And the small wins can, and a lot of times, equal to a big win. Start with tiny creative actions. Journaling to rewire beliefs. Prompts like, What belief is no longer serving me? Where did it come from? What is the new truth I'm choosing? Those are just a few examples that I have written down, but I mean, the list could go on. Plus, I know it'll be different for everyone. But while journaling and while answering the questions that truly align with you, just see what comes to the surface. So when you're answering these questions, don't overthink things. Don't, oh, well, that sounds horrible. Let me go back and redo that. No, because it's not going to help you. So you have to be real with yourself with these things. Identity shifting. So I am the kind of creator who blank. When I know I've talked about shifting your identity before in a previous episode and stuff like that, but identity is the strongest form of subconscious programming. So who you identify as is who you're going to show up as, you know? So repetition. The brain learns through consistency, not effort. Again, if you're all the time thinking negative things, you're only going to have negative outcomes because you have negative thoughts on repeat. So if you wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to have the most terrible day today, you know, the weather sucks outside, it's raining, or they're calling for snow and I don't want to go to work, and you know, all this other stuff. If you're like that, if you begin your morning that way, that is your intention setting, and you're going to have a horrible day. You're going to be negative all day. You know, nothing's going to go your way. You know, you might even spill your coffee on yourself on the way into work because you're rushing and you got negative thoughts and all this other stuff. I know a lot of this stuff is easier said than done. I get it. But they truly, truly, truly do help. So, I hope this episode was exciting for you all. I hope you've gained some information and stuff like that. I'm going to wrap it up with this. Your subconscious mind is your blueprint. If you don't know what's in it, you'll keep repeating the same patterns. So, in a future episode, I definitely want to do a more of a deep dive into the brain and the psychology and all these things. A lot of this stuff really, really, really just interests me. Like, I know as humanity and society, we don't know much about the brain at all. And we don't know a lot about, you know, what's in the ocean and stuff like that. So, yeah, like I said before, I hope you all are enjoying season 2. I know I am. We are bringing the energy and stuff this season, so yes, here's to reprogramming your subconscious mind. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, all the things, leave them below in a comment. If these are some things that you've gone through, and if you have some tips and tricks, please leave them in the comments below. I'm really trying to build, you know, a community here where people can benefit and gain some knowledge and stuff like that. So, with all of that being said, I hope you all have a great week. And again, if you know someone who can benefit from hearing these things, please share it. The support truly, truly, truly does help and does not go unnoticed. I truly appreciate it. And make sure to be following me on my social medias. They're all below in the description and the show notes below. So that way you don't miss anything. Make sure you subscribe and follow the podcast. That way you don't miss future episodes. And with all that being said, I also have a new book that I published last October. It's called The Daily Divine. It'll be listed below as well. Check it out. And if you do get you a copy, please tag me. I want to know what you truly think about it. Anyways, again, I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!